Well, a long story short is that I went home. So I am British in the sense that I'm born, raised, educated here in the UK, but my heritage on both my parents' side is Palestinian. I am an Arab and Palestinian. I'm proud of it. And I basically went to militarily occupied and colonized Palestine for the first time as an adult around 10 years ago. And despite knowing or believing I knew what had been happening there and the injustice and the discrimination for decades, I honestly was not prepared for witnessing it with my own eyes firsthand. Um, whether it was the control systems, the checkpoints, the refugee camps, the people I met with who'd experienced home demolitions, their children being taken away in the middle of the night into Israeli military detention, the wall going between Palestinian homes and lands and villages, the colonies, these settlements, as they call them, these colonies on all the hilltops. And I felt very compelled. I started to write. I've always loved cinema and film and drama and theater. And I felt really a calling in some ways to tell these human stories in a creative way. I was being called to sort of a creative side of myself, I guess, but it was also, I think, looking back, really, I can say to you, it was also a way of dealing with the injustice. On the other hand, I also came across a story about an Israeli occupation soldier who was captured in 2006, and he was released in 2011 for over 1,000 Palestinian political prisoners, hundreds of whom were being held in administrative detention, which means without trial or charge, and hundreds of whom were women and children. And I remember thinking, this was a huge imbalance in value for human life. Maybe this is also a root cause, a root issue. It's the underlying root issue of the oppression of the Palestinian people, is this idea that Palestinian lives are not valued like an Israeli Jewish life. And so really that inspired the story as well. I never could have imagined that imbalance in value for Palestinian life versus an Israeli Jewish life would amount to us realizing or seeing, witnessing that it's almost like Palestinian lives have no value. But given the current reality in Palestine, in Palestine at the moment, as Israel conducts a genocide in Gaza, I really hope that this film offers this deeper human context to that reality, to the socio-political in this case, that is so important but seems to be missing from the discourse. And I really want people to ask themselves, is this a reality?